I'm here at the FT Global Commodity Summit with Juan Luciano, the President and Chief Operating Officer of Archer Daniels Midland, one of the world's largest agricultural processors and traders with $90 billion in annual revenue. Mr. Luciano, thank you for joining me.
Great to be here.
I'd like to start with the short term. As grain stocks rebuild after the 2012 U.S. drought, what do you see as the direction of corn, wheat, and oilseed supplies in the next 12 months?
April is a very important month from a weather perspective. It's a month that determines the planting intentions of both corn and soybeans and determines the growing conditions for the wheat crop. We see a very big soybean crop being planted in the US with about 81 million acres. And we're seeing also a slight reduction in the acres for corn with about 93 million acres. That depending on the yield, could still yield a very, very significant crop. So we are, as always in this time of the year, setting all our elevators and all our units across the country ready for managing a big crop.
ADM is also one of the biggest ethanol producers in the U.S., and the White House proposes to slash its ethanol blending mandate for corn-based ethanol for the first time. How big a threat is that to ADM?
Yes, certainly we will be disappointed if the administration will eliminate the mandate. Certainly a lot of companies have invested for this, and we believe that the mandate is actually delivering on its objective, which is to provide ethanol with an infrastructure that producers don't have. Saying that, we still believe that we can navigate successfully through the absence of an RFS. If you think about the local demand, it's about 13 billion gallons without the RFS, so 10% of 130 billion gallons of gasoline consumption, plus about a billion gallons of exports, plus about 300 million gallons of E85, E15. That will put you right up there about 14.5 or 14.7, which is the capacity. So we are very optimistic about the long term of ethanol.
Recently, you've seen ethanol prices rise above $4 a gallon in places like New York Harbor. Is there a shortage of ethanol capacity, or is that more of an issue of logistics?
With the improved price of corn, we started to see ethanol being very competitive in international markets, and we started to see export increasing last October. In the winter, with the bad weather that we have in the Midwest, we're starting to see the turns of the rail cars to come slower and slower. That forced several producers to actually shut down because of lack of rail cars. So that has produced some tightness in the industry. As the weather improves, we will see that situation improving.
Ukraine is the world's third largest corn exporter, it's estimated this year. How does the recent turmoil in Ukraine affect your business there?
Yes, we have operations in Ukraine, as you described. We have about 13 grain elevators. We have one port in Odessa, and we have one crushing plant, actually Sunseed crushing plant. Obviously, our priority is the safety of our people. They are all okay, and our facilities have not been impacted by this. Actually, if anything, we were thinking about planting intentions coming spring, but favorable weather has allowed farmers to seed, and they are actually planting ahead of schedule this year.
What's next in the M&A pipeline for ADM, and what kind of criteria are you using as you examine opportunities?
We're looking at regional plays, consolidation plays. There are many regional producers, and it's becoming more and more a big company game because of food security, because of infrastructure, because of the level of investment that you need to do. We're looking at regional plays in infrastructure, also in oilseed processing, and fundamentally also in some of the specialty products that are addressing the issues of increased protein in the diet, so issues of heart disease or diabetes. So we're looking much more at specialty products that promote good nutrition.
And are there certain regions where you expect to emphasize or de-emphasize when you talk about regional plays?
Yes, we look at our CapEx for 2014. We have more than 60% of the CapEx outside the United States, and we're looking primarily at places like South America and Eastern Europe.
Juan Luciano of Archer Daniels Midland, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Gregory.